When you think about it, HR is the only business function that's going to touch every employee along every stage, right? Because you think about it, from the time you recruit an employee to the time they leave, whenever they leave, HR has something to do with them, from recruiting, hiring, onboarding, employee relations. HR is going to touch your employee every step of the way. Small business owners are spending 25% of the time on HR. That's time better spent taking care of the employees, taking care of customers, and of course, making their business better and scaling it. When you think about it, most business owners are not small business. Not HR experts, right? That's like if you're a chef, you open a restaurant, you're an expert in, cooking great food. You're not expert at, HR, marketing. So, let the experts do it for you. Biggest risk is just not knowing what they don't know, right? Because there's so many HR laws. There's HR laws at federal level, city level, state level. It's so many laws. Like the example I use, the minimum wage is $7.25, but in most places like the Bay Area, Seattle, it's gonna be up to a size $15. And there's always things changing, always updates. Our laws are changing. It's just hard to keep up with it. Cavness HR, we do HR for companies with 49 or less people by providing basic HR policies, employee handbooks, labor posters, all through our online platform. And the great thing about us, if you sign up for us and we give you a handbook, and 90 days later, the law changes, you get a new handbook included in the price. So everything's included in the price. For most HR consultants, okay, here's a new handbook, here's an extra fee for you. Master plan is to be an all-in-one HR solution, but right now we have partnerships. So a payroll partnership is a company called Every out of Utah. Partnership with a background check company and some other partnerships that add additional value. I left the Army. I joined a startup called Fold, and I noticed none of these startups had HR. So I kept on doing research. Why not? And of course, most startups at that point didn't make it. Maybe this would be a business idea for me, right? And I pivoted from startups to companies with 49 less people, right? Because I quickly learned that most small business and startups can't afford a person like me, because HR person $80,000 or more plus a year plus benefits, they can afford that. You have the HR consultants who I like to say overcharge on price, under deliver on value. They might want $300 an hour and to tell you what you're supposed to do, right? Okay, you're gonna tell you, I'm gonna pay you to tell me what I already know. We pride ourselves to be responsive, right? A lot of HR consultants, HR companies, they'll get back to you 6-7 days or whatever. We pride ourselves to be as responsive as possible, right? And provide information when they need it. So we don't actually do the termination for them, but we talk them through it, right? Based on location, is this employer, is a contractor? A lot of small business are he's a contractor because I say he's a contractor. Well, no, it doesn't work like that, right? I just want to offer responsive HR advice and a way to do your HR, because HR can be so time intensive, right? And so, and you need someone to adapt quickly, right? An example, the other day I had a customer call me, hey, this contractor did something, that is kind of, we want to get rid of them, right? Or probably wrong with this phrase that, but you want to, separate from them, And so I talked them through what they should or shouldn't do. And they were like, well, we want to, tell them we're going to terminate it. Well, no, you probably don't want to say you terminate them, because that implies they're an employee and they might be able to use that to get unemployment benefits, right? Let me tell you what we do first, so people have a better background. So what we do is provide labor posters based on location and industry, HR laws and location industry, employee handbooks, HR policies, job descriptions, and then responsive HR advice and onboarding based on the location industry, and also responsive HR advice. An example I use for responsive HR advice, two examples I'll use. You might contact and say, hey, Cavness HR, Tom hasn't been working 5 days. We want to let him go. What do we do? Talk you through that. Or the better example, hey, Cavness HR, Mary, she's been with us for a year. She's a horrible worker. She's toxic. She's failed all performance plans. We're going to let her go. Everything's documented. She's agreed to separate. She told us the day she's pregnant. What do we do? And I believe most HR people would say, well, let her go because she already signed it. Or we're more like, okay, no one's going to care or believe that, she's a horrible worker. On social media, it's going to say that you fired a pregnant female, and that's going to destroy your employer brand. So I'm not saying like you don't let her go, but how do you work through that? And this is a good point. So most people that say the HR consultants, we're saying that we're HR business partners. We want to be like a business partner for you that you can call on or contact me when you need. Okay. And then we have a free service, a free version for 1 to 10 employees. And usually that does not involve responsive HR advice, but for CoBiz, we're going to provide everything, the HR stuff and the responsive HR advice for free. And then for companies with 11 above, it's a free 90 days from the time you start. And after and the 91st day, we'll discuss, did we provide you enough value and have you sign on as a paying customer? My phone number is 803-360-8457. The email is jasoncavness@CavnessHR.com. The website is www.CavnessHR.com. And if you just Google Jason Cavness or Cavness HR, I'm like all over social media. So LinkedIn, Instagram. I mean, if you DM me anywhere, like I'm gonna see it. So it's called the Jason Cavness Experience, and I talk to small business owners, founders, and other interesting people. So off topic, but interesting person I'm talking to a guy named Quentin Morris next week. He's like a master violinist here in Seattle. So I'm bringing people on. And so we basically talk about entrepreneurship, business, how you get started, your entrepreneur journey, and why is HR important to a small business, and just general discussions.
Awesome. And what's the name of the podcast again?
The Jason Cavness Experience. Advice I give everyone, like a lot of people have these ideas, they're, should I do this or not? Just get started. And my people say, oh, now's the worst time to get a started business. But actually, back in the last Great Recession, 2008, Instagram started, Uber started. So the greatest companies are starting in economic times like this, right? I mean, I would just say just get started. And there's more than enough resources out there. Another thing, don't pay for anything, right? Mistakes I've made in the past, like, oh, I need to pay for this sales platform. I need to pay for that. I'm not really ready for it, right? So whenever you want to pay for something, always like get a second opinion. Do you really need to pay for this? And there's so many resources out there, especially like in the Bay Area. I mean, maybe not now, but I'm sure it's all still virtual, like so many meetup groups, and just like reach out to somebody on LinkedIn. Now, of course, there's some people on LinkedIn, oh, why did you contact me? I don't know you. That's like 1 every 100, right? 99 out of 100 are like at least give you the time to return your message, right? I mean, you have to ask. Another philosophy is like Wayne Gretzky used to say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You gotta have that attitude, right? If you see something you want to apply for, right? Because I've applied to 3 things. I thought I had no chance to get in. I got accepted all 3, right?
All right.
I mean, you have to take the chance. You have to believe in yourself. Another thing too, like always have confidence in yourself. Like people are going to doubt you. This is crazy. No one's going to do it, but you have to have confidence in yourself. Veterans, there's like organizations just for you. There's Bunker Labs. Bunker Labs is a nonprofit. They have an office in the Bay Area and we work. They help military spouses and military entrepreneurs on the entrepreneurial journey. And one thing Bunker Labs does is they help decide is entrepreneurship even for you, right? Like, cause it's a long process. And things that we think are simple, like, pick what's your business name? Validate your idea. Like people have all these great ideas and like, they'll talk to their spouse or their 2 best friends. I'm going to spend $100,000 on an app. Well, you got to talk to lots and lots of people, right? Do you even know what Google Analytics is? Do you have the resources? So there's Bunker Labs is a great resource. There's other things too you can go to. I mean, I mean, there's so many resources. You just have to ask. Like people say the new normal or different times, but when you think about it, every year has difficult times, right? It might be in this scale, but you might have like something going on in your family, something's going wrong. There's always gonna be a challenge you have to overcome, and you just got to stay focused and have a passion for it. And one thing I'm not saying this is good, but about these certain times, the people without passion quickly get weeded out. I think because if you have passion, you'll keep on going with it. So definitely be passionate about what you're trying to build.